Chris here, and welcome to my channel. As you can see by my setup, it's time to play Phase 10, chooses my TBR. So, it is already April, which is absolutely crazy. As for March's TBR, I have one book left, The Winter Garden. I'm partway through it, and it is the 27th while I'm filming this, so there's zero reason I shouldn't finish that. The only readathon I'm doing this month is Realmathon, and I am Team Enya. This is a month-long readathon hosted by Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. I'll link her channel in the announcement video below. I participated last year and had a lot of fun. There's just a ton of prompts where you can attack other realms and deplete their magic, or defend your own realm. So usually what I do is I go through when I get done with a book and see which side it's going to give me more points for, and then kind of decide from there. So hopefully all of these books will get me points to help out my team. But I obviously won't be having a set TBR for that, because any book I read will count towards my team's total in some way, shape, or form. So with that being said, let's go into my read-alongs. First, I will be reading the third book in the Wheel of Time series, which is The Dragon Reborn. I'm excited to dive back into this series, especially after a month where I read very little adult fantasy, so it'll be nice to pick some up. Then, as part of the Howling Pack book club hosted by the Wild Sasha, I'll be reading A Master of Jinn, which takes place in Cairo in 1912, and that sold me. I love Egypt, and I don't know anything else about it, but it looks like it's going to be a fun read. And then, as part of the Backlist book club, which is hosted by Cassidy, I'm going to be reading The Promise of Blood, which is the first book in the Powder Mage trilogy. And I don't know anything about this, but we're overthrowing a king, and it says it's a spectacular fantasy debut set in a world where gods walk the earth and guns and magic create the perfect combination. So we shall see if I like this, and I'm excited to be taking part in Backlist Book Club again. The only other thing I have to mention is that as part of my own read-along for the Rick Riordan books, I will be picking up Demigods, Magicians, Percy, and Annabeth Meet the Canes, which is one of the few books left that I haven't read in Rick Riordan's kind of bibliography. And then The Lost Hero and The Son of Neptune, which are the first two books in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is like the second arc set in the Percy Jackson universe. I am very curious to reread this now, knowing how it all plays out, and seeing if I pick up on things as I go along, and seeing how I feel about it, knowing the whole story. So they're chunkers, but they should read pretty quickly, given that they're on the cusp of middle grade and YA and their rereads. So very excited to get to those. If you'd like to join in, a link to my Discord is in the description below, and basically I have channels set up. You can pop in whenever you like and read along with us. I just realized I had a couple more things. So we have the Buzzwordathon pick of the month, which is also technically a read-along. And the prompt is emotion, so I'm going to read Not a Happy Family by Shari LaPena. This was one of the few books I actually had that had an emotion in it. I don't know anything about it, but I believe it's a mystery thriller, so I kind of want to go into it blind. It says, in this family, everyone is keeping secrets, even the dead. So that sounds like it's going to be fun. I don't really want to know anything more. So this will be on my TBR. And then for TBR Knockout, the first prompt is to read a book with an animal on the cover. And for this, I'm going to be reading The Vanderbeekers of 141st Street. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but there is a dog here and a cat there, so that counts. This is a 5-star prediction. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm very excited to give it a try. And then the other prompt is to read a book with flowers on the cover, and for this, I'm going to read Mystic Pieces by Adabelle. So this is one of my spring covers. As you can see, there are flower boxes on the cover, so there's flowers. The cover obviously gives me spring vibes. I'll link my spring covers video down below if you'd like to see my thoughts on this and all of the other books I picked for spring covers. So I think that's all of my required reads, which brings me to my nonfiction of the month. For this, I'm going to be reading The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, A New History of Their Lost World by Steve Brusatte. And I believe I actually got this recommendation from Cassidy, I think. I'm really, really excited about this book. I am very curious to see how he lays out what happened to the dinosaurs, as it seems like there's a lot of theories, and I'm curious to see what theory he goes with and how he lays out his evidence. I really like dinosaurs, and I don't know, I thought it would be a fun nonfiction to have on my TBR for the month of April. Which brings me to my favorite part of the month, and that is my TBR jar. So this has been updated. I'm hoping that I don't get Joe Abercrombie again. I'm pretty sure I added him back in, because I'm reading more than just his trilogy, and if I didn't, then I don't know where the slip of paper went. But it's full of some goodies, and there are some in here I can take out because I've actually caught up on some series. So let's see what they have in store for us this month. We're going to go... Oh, papers are flying out. This yellow one. That red one. And this blue one. Okay. So the yellow one is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. So the second book in this series is Us Against You, and I read the first book for winter covers, and since that video hasn't gone out yet, I'm not going to tell you anything about the series, but I obviously enjoyed Beartown enough to continue on with the series, so I will be reading Us Against You in April. Next, Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. This is perfect, because the next book is Ship of Magic, which is the first book in the Live Ship Trader series. I know nothing about this arc in the series, and I had hoped to get to it in March and didn't, and was rolling it over to April anyways. So I'm very, very, very excited to check out the next arc. In the first book, we're following Fitz, who is the bastard son of the prince and ends up working as an assassin for the king. I loved that arc, and I'm very, very, very curious to see what happens in this one. Whether we're following new characters, or whether it's going to be characters we know, whether it is a direct continuation, like how close is it to the end of the Farseer trilogy. So very excited to be diving back into this series. So that's totally all right with me that this came up. And then the third series is one I just added, the Celestial Kingdom duology. So this is the sequel to the Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Let's see if my library has it. So my library does have it. It's called Heart of the Sun Warrior. In the first book, we're following the Daughter of the Moon Goddess as she's trying... Oh, good. She's going to help with one of these guys. If you've been watching my vlogs, you know that she is constantly popping up in them, too. She likes being on camera. That the Daughter of the Moon Goddess is basically trying to win her mom's freedom, and we follow her journey, and I'm assuming this is the continuation of her story. It's a duology, so I'll be able to check that off my list. So, well, I'm not exactly thrilled about the Beartown one, because it's not really what I want to be reading. It could have been a lot worse, so I'll go with it. Oh, Bugs, you gonna help too? Come on. No? He's behind the camera. I know you guys can't see him, but he thought about it for a second. Okay, time to get down. So those are the three series I will be continuing in the month of April, and I'm very excited about two of them as she tries to clear off my board. I'm less excited about the third, but hopefully I'll enjoy it. Okay, time to put this away for the month. Okay, with that out of the way, it means we can jump into the game, and first things first, I only have Winter Garden left. Like I said, I'm going to finish it. So that means I get to add a reward to my TBR. I have my computer here. And I'm going to show you this time. We have the colors here. I'm going to show you me shuffling them in case red comes up again. So 1, 2, 3. Let's spin. Okay, blue. Now I've got my numbers up here. I don't need to take any off because it wasn't blue. We'll shuffle them 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Let's spin. Okay, blue 8. So the blue 8 prompt is going to come down, and we will put it back in my deck and kind of mix it in so I don't know where it is. I don't even know what it was. Okay. See if I can do this without doing exactly what I'm doing, spilling them. We'll mix them up again. Let's try this again. Push that back so I don't go behind there. Okay. So here are my reward prompts, except for watch 5 booktube videos, which I definitely did. I kept saying 5 hours in the video, but it was 5 booktube videos. I definitely, absolutely did that. And it was nice to be able to do it and feel guilt-free because I was completing a prompt. So let's go with this one. And the only thing I know about that one is that it's not watch 5 booktube videos. That being said, I think everything's out of the way and we can go to draw number 1. A yellow 5. The prompt for yellow 5 is book of the month. That's easy. Not a happy family. I did not get this from book of the month, but it is a book of the month edition, so I think it counts. This is what I will be reading for book of the month. It actually turned out to be really, really good because I have no idea what else I would pick if I had to grab a different book of the month. So this worked out perfectly. Draw number 2 is a green 5. And the prompt for green 5 is hardcover. So we'll go easy again. We'll go for Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. This is a hardcover I have out of the library. I've got to read it anyways. Might as well put it on my Phase 10 TBR. Draw number 3 is a green 4. And the prompt for green 4 is standalone. Okay, so for this, I'm going to do Peach Blossom Spring, which actually happens to be another book of the month book. I did not realize I had another one in my bedroom. This is a spring cover, so I'm going into it blind, but I did check Goodreads enough to see that there did not appear to be a series attached to it, so it is a standalone. It is going to count. It's a book I wanted to get to in the next few months anyways, so I might as well read it now. Standalone is extremely tricky. I was looking around at all the books I hope to get to, and it's like, nope, series, nope, series, nope, series. I don't read a lot of standalones. Draw number 4 is a skip, which means I get to completely skip this prompt. No prompt number 4, 9 books this month. Very exciting. Draw number 5 is a 3. And the prompt for yellow 3 is Instagram pic. So I believe the last time I did this, I hopped on my Instagram and I had to find a book that was on my Instagram that I owned and wanted to read or could get from the library and wanted to read, because it's not a poll pick. So I can't do that right now because I believe my old phone has logged me out of Instagram. Yeah, my old phone has logged me out of Instagram. So I will do that after and pop a picture in here because I'm filming on my phone. And whatever book this is the one that I'm going to read for Instagram pick. So hopefully I can find something. Draw number 6. It's wild. Of course it was. We'll put you down here. That skip is going to come in mightily handy because, oh boy, God, what that's going to do to me. Okay. Draw 6 part 2 is 2. It was all going so well. nature on the cover or in the title. So for this, I'm going to read Mystic Pieces by Adabelle. There is flowers on the cover, which would be nature. I think that counts. I plan to read it anyway, so I might as well stick it on my TBR. That's the goal, to get as many of the books I hope to get to beforehand on my TBR. So thumbs up for that. I'm also hoping by doing that, I can get a little bit of mood reading in, because it's been a while since I've been able to mood read. Draw number 7. Oh, another month of All the Wilds. Well, at least I was planning on reading a lot due to Ramathon, so could be worse. Draw number 7, part 2 is a 3. And the prompt for Red 3 is a reread. Well, at least that was nice to me. I'm going to go with The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, since I wanted to get to this anyways, and it's a reread, and, well, yeah, seems like a good time to stick this on my TBR. Draw number 8 is a green 10. And the prompt for green 10 is air on the cover or in the title. So for this, I'm going to go with Winter Turning by 2T Sutherland. This is the 7th book in the Wings of Fire series. And as you can see, we have all this sky, which is made of air. I tend to use air as like sky or clouds or wind, something like that. And I think this is probably as close as I'm going to get with the books that I already want to read. And I'm trying to be nice to myself since I have 2 wilds. So this is what I'm going to go with. I'm really, really loving this series. We just started the 2nd arc in book 6. And I really enjoyed the start to this arc. So I'm hoping I continue to enjoy it in book 7. Draw number 9 is a blue 7. Where are my 12s and 1s? Oh, so close. Random page generator. So, our minimum is going to be 100. Our maximum is going to be 1,000. I think I'll spin it 3 times. So, 1, 2, 3. 533. So, I looked at my TBR because I tend to have a spreadsheet with the page count. And I actually found one that's 7 pages off, so I'm going to go with it. And that's The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. So this comes in at 526 pages. I've read this before. But I listened to the audiobook, and I was very confused because I didn't have a physical book to listen along with. I've been terrified it was going to come out of my TBR jar because I knew I wasn't going to remember enough and I was going to have to start over. And so I had taken it upon myself to start my reread now. And had gotten this out of the library, so I think this is fate's sign that I was supposed to read this in April. I don't remember literally anything about it. So, I definitely needed a reread, and I'm very excited to dive back into this series because I'm hoping to kind of read it very quickly so that the details don't fade out. I know this is a well-loved series, so I want to give it a second shot because I did enjoy the first book as much as I had hoped. But I was also reading a completely different kind of book at the time. And like I said, trying to listen to the audiobook too fast and not realizing that I wasn't retaining enough to understand. So this will be my book for 533 pages since it comes in at 526. And then for what is hopefully the last of my regular draws, draw number 10 is an 11. And the prompt for Red 11 is historical fiction not set during World War II. I almost said 1 there. Okay, so for this, I'm going to read A Master of Jinn. Because, like I said, it's in Cairo in 1912. And we're following Fatma El Sha'arwi. El Sha'arwi. I probably butchered that. Hopefully the audiobook, if I have one, will help me figure out her name. She's the youngest woman working for the Ministry of Alchemy, Enchantments, and Supernatural Entities. She's certainly not a rookie, especially after preventing the destruction of the universe last summer. So when someone murders the members of a secret brotherhood dedicated to one of the most famous men in history, Al-Jahiz, Agent Fatma is called to the case. Al-Jahiz transformed the world 40 years ago when he opened up the veil between the magical and mundane realms before vanishing into the unknown. This murderer claims to be Al-Jahiz, returned to condemn the modern age for its social oppressions. His dangerous magical abilities instigate unrest in the streets of Cairo that threatens to spill onto the global stage. Alongside her ministry colleagues and a familiar face from her past, Agent Fatma must unravel the mystery behind this imposter, restore peace to the city, or face the possibility he could be exactly who he seems. So I'm really excited to get to this. Like I said, it's another book I was planning on reading anyways, and I think 1912 in Cairo definitely is outside of World War II and definitely counts as a historical fiction. So I will be reading this for that prompt. Okay, it's time for the wild roll, and I have my first wild, my die, and we're getting a, 6. Oh, goody. I mean, I'm going to be racking up those points for my Realmathon team with all of the books I'm going to have to read. Please no wilds. Wild 1, draw 1. Guys, the game hates me. It hates me. Let's try this again. Wild 1, draw 1, part 2 is an 11. And the prompt for Green 11. 5-star prediction. For this, I think I'll read the Van de Beekers of 141st Street since I'm already reading it, and it's a 5-star prediction, so I guess I'm getting lucky there. Wild 1, draw 2. Oh, is a 12. Oh, we're getting close, guys. One more 12 or 1, and I get a free skip. We'll go with a 9. Why did I put that there? It doesn't go over there. It goes here. And the prompt for the yellow 9 is sci-fi. Saga, Volume 10. It's on the way from the library. That is definitely a sci-fi. It's a graphic novel. I have been waiting for Volume 10. I'm pretty sure I'm not prepared for it. I love this graphic novel series way more than I thought I was going to, and I'm quite looking forward to continuing it. Plus, it's teeny tiny, will be a very, very, very fast read, and that is much needed. Wild 1, draw 3. I get to skip a prompt or swap a prompt. I really, really needed that. Yay! Okay, Green 7, before I get too excited and forget. The prompt for Green 7 is YA. So I'm going to go with The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. So this might be tweaking it, but I really do think that it is borderline middle grade YA and probably depends on your kid. And I don't know, I've seen both. I've seen people mark it both ways, and I'm going to count it because my game, my rules, and I really need some help, guys. So I hope you guys understand why I chose this for YA. Okay, so I've completed my prompt, so now I have to redo the board, so I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, so as you can see, we're all set up again. I need a set of 5 and a set of 3, and I have 1s, 11s, and 7s. The scary part is that I've already used 2 of my 7s and I've used 2 of my 11s, because they don't get to go back in the deck. On the bright side, I've already used 3 of my wilds, so yay? Oh, please be kind to me. Wild 1, draw 4, is a 4. I'll take it. Anything but another wild. And the prompt for yellow 4 is TBR Game. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, instead of playing Bookopoly like I normally do, because I feel like I've played that lately, is I am going to... I'm trying to think of who's got a TBR game who I haven't watched yet, because a few of them are out. I'm going to say I haven't seen Kaylani's yet. So what I will do is whatever Kaylani's first prompt is, she plays bingo, like has a bingo board, is the prompt that I have to do. So I can play her TBR game, because I do not have a bingo board or, you know, the balls. And any rewards or punishments she gets, because she does have that ability, I will get, I believe, reward is you get to take a book off of your TBR, like read one less. So if that happens, I will get to pick a book to take off of my TBR. and editing Chris will let you know. And if it is a punishment, then I have to add a book to my TBR, and I will base it on whatever prompts she continues to get. So that is what I'm going to do for this, and this is the, hopefully, book I'm going to read, and if not, you will see editing Chris to share anything else. Draw number 5 is a 2. Well, wild draw number 5, and a red 2 gets me sequel. So for this, I'm going to read Something Red, Something Dead by Eva Gates. This is the next book in the Lighthouse Library Mystery Series. This is a cozy mystery series where we follow a librarian who lives in a lifehouse and ends up solving murders. I don't know what this one's about, but it is one of my series I hope to continue in 2023, so I'm totally down to stick that on here. And the last prompt for wild number 1 is an 11. I guess we're going with 11s. And I think I will go with a green 12. And the prompt for green 12 is foiled cover. Okay, so I guess for this, I'll go with The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I was supposed to read this last month for the Bookstara Readalong, and I didn't get to it, though, last month. In March, this month. I keep thinking because this is April's TBR that March was last month, but it's technically not. But I had a few days left, so I didn't really want to include it. But it's got the foiling here, so I guess we'll go with this one. And hopefully I can get to it in April. And I will pick up, I guess, something else in March if I have time. Well, it is time for the roll for Wild 2. Please be kind. Please don't be another 6. 3. I'll take a 3 over a 6 any day of the week. Okay. Wild 2, draw 1, is a 1. Okay, we're going for 1s and 11s. For sure, and I guess we can go with this green 7 here. Sure, why not? Green 7. Again. And it is... Dictionary.com. So the word of the day on March 27th is Macedon. And it's a mixture of fruits or vegetables, often served as a salad. Okay, so this was ridiculously hard. And I'm going to go with Poison and Potato Salad by Amity Adams. I think that's her name. I don't know anything about it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It's a cozy mystery. And it is literally the first one I saw when I Googled salad and cozy mystery that came up. If I have a book with a salad on the cover, I've either read it or I have no idea where it is. I had nothing that even sort of kind of resembled anything to do with salads. So we're going to go with that one and hopefully I will enjoy it. Fingers crossed. Wild 2, draw 2 is an 11. Okay, we're filling this in nicely. We'll go for the blue 7, just to eliminate any possibilities of being tempted by 7s. And I get Start a Series. Let's go with Promise of Blood, since it's the first book in the Powder Mage trilogy, and I need to read it anyways, and I'm getting a very, very massive TBR with all of these extra books. So this will be my start to a series. And Wild 2, draw 3 is a yellow 6. Don't care as long as it's not a wild. And yellow 6 gets me light cover. So for this, I'm going to go with The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, because it's a mostly white cover, and I've got to read it anyways, and I'm very terrified as to what the third wild is going to do to me, so light cover it is. Okay, time for Wild 3's roll. Again, please not a 6. 4. I mean, better than a 6, but I was hoping for like a 1. Far less chances of drawing a 4th wild. Okay. Wild 3, draw 1 is a 4. And the prompt for red 4 is food or drink on the cover. So for this, I'm going to go with Blackmail and Bibianca. This is the third book in the Tita Rosie's Kitchen Mystery series. And as you can see, we have some food and some spilled wine. I've really, really enjoyed this series. I figured it would be an easier read to get through because cozy mystery. Even though this is a much more hard-hitting cozy mystery series, because in the books I've read, yep, there's a content warning in this one as well. And I like that the author does that, so you kind of go in knowing some of what to expect in case it's something you can't handle. But I really enjoyed the first two books, and I'm hoping I enjoyed this one as well, even though I wasn't necessarily planning on reading it in April. Wild 3 Draw 2. Say Red 12. Again, I'll take anything that's not a wild. And the prompt for Red 12. Is Gavin's Play Your TBR Right? I almost chose this for TBR game, and then I didn't. And it's like the board knew I didn't choose it, so it was going to give it to me anyways. So if you've never seen Gavin's Play Your TBR Right, which he doesn't play on his channel anymore, basically, what you do is you take a deck of cards, and there will be 5 cards, and you have to guess higher or lower. And if you get them all right, you get to read the book you want to read, and if you don't, then you have to read the book you don't. So for book I want, I'm going to go with Demigods and Magicians, since I absolutely do want to read this. And for book I don't read, I'm going to go with The Dragon Reborn by Robert Jordan, because I have 2 months to read this, so I could read this in May, and I absolutely would prefer to read it in May because, well, have you seen the size of my TBR? Okay, so normally I would stand them up, but I'm just going to go like this. So my first card is a 8 of diamonds. Crap. I'm going to go lower and hope that it's lower. Okay, well, that was a fast game. I will be reading The Dragon Reborn. My TBR game hates me this month. I think I'm going to end up putting a punishment on here next month. I really, really do. Because at this point, I still don't know what I got for Instagram pick, and I can't pick any of the books I've added to my TBR. And I still don't know what happens with TBR game because I can't watch that while I'm filming, and I don't know exactly when it's going to go out. So, lucky me. And for what I hope is my final draw, Wild 3. Oh god, no, there's 4 of them. Never mind. Where did the... Oh, I found it. I have now found the Red 12 prompt, which tried to disappear and was hiding behind the 4. Anyways, Wild 3 Draw 3 is a Red 5. I'll take it. Anything that's not a wild. And the prompt for Red 5 is favorite trope. I'm going with Demigods and Magicians, Percy and Annabeth Meet the Canes, because one of my favorite tropes is found family, and there's definitely a lot of that in this series, and I think there is going to be some of that in here, even though I haven't read it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to allow it, given that. So, we're going to go with this. Now, I think I've got this right for my final draw, hopefully. Wild 3, Draw 4, Easy 2. I'm done. Green 2. Green 2. Kindle Unlimited. So for this, I'm going to read Shadow Child by, I believe it's Wendy Wang. This is the 6th book in the Witches of Palmetto Point series. I'm currently in the middle of book 5, set it down and walked away. So this is going to give me the kick in the butt I need to finish book 5 and read book 6. Editing Chris here. So now that Kaylani has released her TBR game, you will have seen earlier in the video that the prompt card had a little pink heart in the corner. I'll pop the picture up here again. And that is her notation for a reward. In her game, it means she has to do 1 less spin. So for me, that means I'm going to have to do 1 last pull, since I pull cards, draw cards, however you want to say it, which means my last pull, which is over there, is that green 2 right, oops, wrong direction there, is null and void. That got me Kindle Unlimited, so I do not need to read Shadow Child in the month of April because Kaylani's TBR game was extremely nice to me, unlike my own. So, one last book to read. Thank you to Kaylani's game for cutting me some slack. Now, back to Past Chris to wrap this video up. So, yeah. That is all for my TBR. Let's see, to complete my TBR, I need to read 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 books, because I can use a skip. At least 21 books. And as of right now, I don't know what 2 of them even are. On the bright side, at least I read about 30 books a month on average, so it is doable, but it's going to be really, really hard. And that doesn't include all of the books I currently have over my room that I didn't get onto my TBR that I wanted to read. Like, I'm going to be reading, at the very least, Mystic Pieces by Adabelle, because that's my TBR knockout book, so yeah. Well, I don't like my TBR game right now. Anyways, I'm going to go because I have books everywhere and I need to clean up. So, yeah. That's it for my TBR. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it. All of my social media is linked in the description below if you'd like to come chat with me. If you've made it this far in the video, leave me a salad emoji. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!